Hello, you're watching Vegan Central YouTube cooking channel. Please subscribe, like, and hit the bell, and I appreciate your support and thank you for watching. On this episode, I'm going to be cooking lemon ginger fried rice. And it's a really basic, simple recipe that you can use so many variations with. And I'm going to post the ingredients and the directions that you can pause to read or write down. Like I said, this is the basic version, but there's so many variations of this. And you know, like I said, you can substitute whatever you want, and there's a lot of options you can use. So in this recipe, I'm going to chop real fine some minced onion, some minced garlic. And what I do is I mince the ginger. First I peel the ginger, then I mince it, and then I put it in the freezer so that whenever I need it, I can pull it out. But I have to add that I put some chunks in there that I was going to use to make hot tea with. So they were in a big chunk, and it was frozen together, and I didn't realize it, but I did pull out one of the big chunks. So if you're wondering what's going on with that, that's what happened. But normally it's just chopped up really fine ginger, and I keep it in some tin foil, put it in the freezer, and I can just peel some off as needed. And sure, you can buy a jar of chopped garlic, but it's just not the same as fresh. You know, and sure, you can even use powder, but it's not going to be the same. It just depends on how much time and effort you want to put into it and how good you want it to taste. So I'm chopping up some garlic real fine. You can also do that with garlic. You can chop it up ahead of time and wrap it up in some tin foil and put it in the freezer, and that'll save you time in the long run as you're making your individual meals. Green onions are also really nice to add to this for color especially, but when you add the green onions, you just kind of want to add those at the very last minute, and then they'll turn bright green and you'll know it's done. So there's a lot of chopping and prep work involved with vegan cooking because, you know, you want to eat everything fresh. So I wish I could chop this fast, but it's in fast motion. But that would be awesome if I could really chop that fast. So I'm preparing everything and putting it in a bowl and setting it aside. I'm actually growing these green onions in a glass jar, and that's why I only have the tops, because this is just never ending. There I go snapping off the two large chunks. Okay, so you're going to heat up. I always use olive oil for everything, but if you have a touch of sesame oil, that would be really good. Be careful with the salt whenever you're using soy sauce, or you can use tamari. And the seasonings, you can also vary, but don't go overboard with too many spices. And a lot of it really just depends on, sometimes I'll buy in bulk spices at the 99-cent store, and that will, you know, decide what spices I use. And I also will put a little piece of a vegetable in the oil to test it, and when it starts to sizzle, then I know I can add everything else. Now, here I'm cooking some chopped carrots, and they are going to take a little extra time. You don't want them too hard, but you want them to have a little bit of crunchiness. And here I am, flash steaming them and sauteing them. And there you can see these. So that's why I was wondering why it was taking, I thought I would be able to tell when it was done by when the ginger broke up and wasn't frozen in a big chunk, but it was just staying in a big chunk. And then I remembered I had put the chunks in there to boil in some water to make some tea with. I also squeezed some lemon in there to help with the steaming of it, and the soy sauce to help with the sizzling, because you don't want to absorb all the oil because you're going to be adding some steamed rice to this in a minute. The reason my steamed rice is yellow is because I had put some turmeric in it when I was steaming it. And you want to make sure it's frying and not just sitting in the oil. Make sure you are sizzling it at all times. Sometimes I like to really fry it good and just let it fry and then use a spatula and flip it, to get some really fried crunchiness to some of it, texture. But that's it really, and you're done. And like I said, you can spice this up with some amazing vegetables or add some vegetable medley right to it, or use this as a great side dish for anything really. It's got a lot of flavor. Did I mention it's really healthy too? All right, well, thank you for watching this episode of how to make my lemon ginger fried rice. And you can just eat it plain right out of the bowl, or if you want, I like to serve it with some fresh chopped cold tomatoes with salt and pepper. Thanks again for watching. Please subscribe, like, and hit the bell to show your support. And if you have any comments, please leave them below. This is Vegan Central, and I'm Chef J.B. LaRue.